It's time for Harrisburg Heat Soccer on the Heat Soccer Network. Listen to the Heat all season long on WMSS, PennLive.com, and WMSSFM.com. Now let's take it out to the game with John Wilsbach.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome out to the Farm Show's large New Holland Arena. It's the Harrisburg Heat taking on the Baltimore Blast. The Harrisburg Heat in second place right now, coming into this contest at 3-4. Baltimore atop the Eastern Division with a 6-2 record, and also coming off of a win against Syracuse. Glad to have you along tonight as the Harrisburg Heat have their second meeting of the season against this Baltimore team. They lost in the home opener here against the Baltimore Blast. In the last few seasons, the Heat have yet to record a win against this Baltimore team. Harrisburg last week losing in Syracuse 6-4. Heat are going to try to turn things around in this contest. Starting in net will be Hugo Silva. Also in the lineup for the Harrisburg Heat, Brad Kerstetter, Leo Duarte, Val Texera, Thiago, Cuba Perez, Fernando Gatica, Ricky Carvalho, David Miller, Stephen Basso, Tom Miller, Marcus Chantel, Dominic Francis, Darvin Ebanks, and Lucio Gonzaga. Baltimore will be starting William Van Zella in net. He has been their go-to solid keeper the past few seasons. Also on the bench tonight, Andrew Hoxie, Tony Donatelli, also Andrino Dos Santos, Jeremy Rowley, Jamie Thomas, Travis Pittman, Juan Pereira, Johannes Mello, Sophie Tergu, also Elton De Oliveira, Vinny Dantas, Nelson Santana, and Gaten Caltabiano. And, not to forget, back on the Baltimore roster. After it seemed like he had retired after last season, but certainly retiring early, but he's back. Pat Healy, for you Baltimore Blast fans, a solid, one of the best defenders in the league, is back with this Baltimore team. You got a white haze right now on the screen. That is from the fog machine when they did the roster introductions. And of course we'll get rid of the graphic for you there at some point. As we are underway, Harrisburg in the white uniforms, Baltimore in the red. John Wilsbach with you. As the ball sent around the boards, and Hugo will pick it up. He'll fire it up the middle of the field. And Zaga trying to move it forward to Perez. Now Kerstetter comes up with it at midfield and taps it over to the far side. And Tom Miller comes up with it for the Harrisburg Heat. Here come the Blast back the other way. Down to the left side, Pereira. Knocked to the side by Kerstetter. Miller clears it out. That's Tom Miller. David is also dressed for this contest. The Heat have scratched Jose Berche, Nasiri, and also Elmo Neto for this game. Baltimore on the left side. And a hard shot there by Donatelli gets blocked. Tony Donatelli, 10 goals on the season. Here comes Lucio Gonzaga, bringing it out of his own end. Plays it over to the left side. Shot just wide by Kerstetter, and the ball pops back out front. And the Blast quickly bringing it up the floor. Pereira has it knocked to the side and then headed out of play by Chiago. So it'll be a kick in top of the arc for the Baltimore Blast. And the Heat will set up a 3-man wall in front of Pat Healy. He'll put Dantas to his left side, instead places it to the right side, and a shot and a save. Donatelli put one right on Hugo, and it's sent all the way back to the keeper, Vanzella. 3-4 Harrisburg against Baltimore at 6-2. Up the middle, Ricky Carvalho getting it up to Val Teixeira. He'll move toward the yellow line and keep it out in the neutral zone. He changing up, and ball played all the way back to Hugo Silva. Hugo along the near side, getting it to Chiago. Chantel will play it back to Hugo. Baltimore keeping the pressure up, and Hugo's going to send it down the middle. It gets headed out of play by the Blast. And it will be a kick-in, I thought, for the Harrisburg Heat. Right at the top of the arc, it is. Dos Santos trying to argue it, but it will be a restart for the Harrisburg Heat. Still have a little fog hazing around here on the field. Give it a few more minutes to clear out. Perez approaching, but won't take it. Now it's played down to the far post. Perez with a follow-up shot saved by Vanzella, and it cleared back out to the neutral zone. Hoxie going to run it down along the near boards. Chiago gets it all the way back to Hugo, and he'll quickly clear it out far side to Lucio Gonzaga. Gonzaga, a former Baltimore Blast player. Chiago on the near side. Tom Miller goes to the left, takes a shot. That's blocked in the middle of the box, comes back out. No score, 12:33 to go here in the first. Chantel back to Hugo. Hugo's going to leave it over on the left side. That's Steven Basso. He's got that right hand wrapped up. Basso has room, moves in, left side, and pops it up. And out of play. Some of the folks there enjoying the first bash of the ball. Might want to protect the little girl, because there's going to be a few more coming up that way during the game. Vanzella restarting things, tosses it high in the air over by his bench, and it goes out of play. Terragu trying to keep it in, but couldn't. Kerstetter restarting things in front of the Baltimore bench. Back to Hugo. Kerstetter gets it back again. No score here in the first. Ball sent down into the left corner. Perez battling for it. Make that Gattaca. And it's cleared back up the middle. Hugo's going to come out. Head ball it high in the air. Gattaca sends it over to Tom Miller up the far boards. And then it's won back by Dos Santos. Out the near side, Jamie Thomas on it. Back to Vanzella. He'll play it up the middle of the field, and it knocks over to the far side. Dos Santos will send it down the far boards, getting it all the way down to Terragu. He'll send it back out to the neutral zone. Dos Santos brings it to the near boards, steps in left point, trying to get past Gonzaga, but he's not fooled. And sent back to Vanzella. Early here in the first, no score. Ball dumped all the way down into the right corner. Takes a high bounce, and a shot along the boards by Dantas. Still loose, and finally Leo Duarte able to clear it back out to the neutral. Pat Healy on it, waving his team forward. Baltimore played in Syracuse last night after the game. Came right down to Harrisburg and checked in. Ball sent all the way back to the neutral. Pereira, center circle. On to the near side for Raleigh. Slowly that fog continues to lift. Ball sent around the boards. Hugo's going to pick it up. He'll roll it near side to Brad Kerstetter, getting a little pressure in the back now. Back to Hugo and up to the near side, Kerstetter. Out to the neutral zone across midfield. He'll stop at the midfield and play it back to Hugo and go off. He will change a couple bodies up. Ricky Carvalho on it. Ball sent down into the corner. Texera. Now left side sent to the middle by Chiago, and back out Chantel. Chiago sends it down in the middle of the box, knocked to the side. .9:39 to go in the first. Restart coming up for the Heat. Top of the arc for the Harrisburg Heat on the restart. Perez will approach. Chiago trying to get it back over to Perez. They'll move across toward the top of the arc, and it gets poked back out to the neutral zone. All the way back to Hugo. Ball sent up the middle. And Healy plays it over to the far side. Now Mello on it. And back on the near side it goes. Dos Santos. No score. John Wilsbach with you from the Farm Show Arena. The last Heat home game until the end of January, where they play back-to-back. Baltimore has it. Now bottom of the right side in the box, shot wide left. Hoxie had an opportunity, but couldn't get a straight-on shot. And Baltimore brings it back out again. Dos Santos left it for Donatelli. He has to retreat and play it back to Vanzella, getting pressure up front now by Basso. Donatelli again sends it down the near side. And Ricky Carvalho playing it back to Kerstetter, back to Hugo. Nowhere to go with it, dangerously. Gets it up the middle. And Zaga trying to get some help, but Baltimore comes away with it. Left side, Donatelli, shot by Hoxie right on Hugo, and he'll hold on. The Heat netminder will roll it over to Kerstetter. He'll play it back to Hugo. He'll chip it high out to the middle. Heat working it around again, taking their time. Basso, near side Chiago. Now Chantel takes his eye off the ball and loses it. Has to recover it on the far boards. Knocks around, and Baltimore comes back up with it. Hoxie trying to run it down, but Tom Miller comes back and helps out. And now things will slow up again. Leo Duarte playing it back to Hugo. Hugo's going to fire it up. Miller comes up with the left side from Gattaca. Down the middle, Chiago can't get the foot on it. Knocked by Gattaca wide. Baltimore trying to clear it out, but we'll get the tripping foul against the Harrisburg Heat and Chiago. 7:16 to go in the first, no score. Nice holiday crowd on hand here in Harrisburg. Glad to have you along. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and getting set for New Year's Eve tomorrow night. All sent back by Dantas. Over to Dos Santos on the far side. He'll play it down the far boards, getting up to Tergu, who'll take the shot. Hugo makes the save. Ball pops back out to the neutral zone. A little collision on the far side with Ricky Carvalho going down and slow to get back up. Still loose in the Heat's own end. Gonzaga kicking high in the air back out to the neutral zone. Well, Gattaca's going to come up with it right along the near boards. He's coming off of a recent injury. No score. Harrisburg and Baltimore. Down along the near side, it's going to be Mello. Ball dumped down into the left corner. Chantel trying to work the defense. Tergu still on it, playing it back out to Mello. Tries moving in past Lucio Gonzaga. Got the leg out just a little bit too far. Just gets the tripping foul. Ball over on the right side now for the Blast. Gets deflected in the middle and knocked over the crossbar. And we're going to get a corner kick for Baltimore when we come back. We'll step out. 5:47 to go here in the first. No score. Harrisburg and the Baltimore Blast back on the Heat Soccer Network. Check out the Harrisburg Heat merchandise stand at all Harrisburg Heat home games with new replica jerseys, both the home and the away, quarter zips, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and so much more. It's the Harrisburg Heat merchandise, all the stuff you need to be a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Stay in touch with your Harrisburg Heat with harrisburgheat.com, the Heat's Facebook page, and with Twitter. You'll be kept up to date on all the scores, statistics, and happenings of the Harrisburg Heat. Read about your favorite player, find out what happened on the road game, and enjoy the company of other Harrisburg Heat fans.
Back in Harrisburg. A Blast 6-3 victory last night in Syracuse. Got a few other games on tap tonight around the MASL that you'll be able to watch here on MASL TV. See, Dallas, Solis, Kansas City Comets and Florida are playing. Oh, good one. Ontario and San Diego. Plenty of action for you folks. Baltimore had a chance a little earlier there as Hoxie had a pass on that left side. Hugo just perfectly positioned. And he's picking up a foul, but it's a corner kick this time. From the left corner for the Blast. Comes out to the left side. A rocket shot up and out of play by Pat Healy. Yeah, you know, it just didn't seem right when Healy announced he was going to retire after last season. He just knew he had a few more good playing years in him, and he did take a job somewhere, and I don't know if he's just not happy yet or just got that itch back, but he's certainly a quality player, and this league needs to keep players like him playing as long as they can. So great to see him out there, although he is for the Blast and not Harrisburg. We've got a lot of you Blast fans watching here tonight. Glad to have you along. Harrisburg is in Baltimore in 2 weeks. So we look forward to the trip down 83 to visit you. Of course, Denison Cabral, the head coach for the Harrisburg Heat, former Blast player. Now the Blast will host Dallas next Saturday, January 7th. In with the ball, Kerstetter trying to clear it out, getting pressure. He gets blocked, and now it's a 2-on-1 developing, but the Heat get back. Harrisburg almost gave that one away. Out in the neutral zone, Dos Santos. Over to the far side for Hoxie. Andrew Hoxie sends it all the way back to the keeper, Van Zella. Great seeing Danny Kelly and David Bascom, head coach and assistant coach. Two former Heat greats. Oh, there's a steal by Gonzaga. It goes wide, but he catches up and he shoots and scores. He catches Jeremy Raleigh off guard out in the neutral zone, and Lucio Gonzaga reads the passing between Raleigh and Van Zella. Gets to the ball, knocked it just wide of the right post, but stayed with the run, and down the middle had it pop straight back out to him, and he finishes it off. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 22 seconds of the first. Unassisted, Lucio Gonzaga makes it 1-0 in favor of the Harrisburg Heat. His 8th goal of the season. Right there, got to it. Raleigh tried to block him off from getting to the ball. just kind of ran him over as he had the ball contact. It was really his possession to stay with it, and he took it down the middle and finished it off before Vanzella could get back, and the Heat have taken the 1-0 lead. Dos Santos in the back now. Plays it over to Vanzella. Ball sent all the way down to the right side. Thomas trying to get it out front, and a shot and a save by Hugo right down the slat on Vinny Dantas. And Dantas certainly did damage last time these two teams played here. Long pass by Hugo all the way down to Gattaca in the right corner. Leaning, turning, spinning back and forth. Double teamed, trying to keep and maintain possession. Spins out of traffic, pulls a trigger wide, loose down in front and headed to the side. Ball comes back out, Basso sends it back in for the Heat. Little tie-up, but no call as Gattaca was being grabbed. Gonzaga comes up with it near side and plays it all the way back to the keeper, Hugo. 3:20 to go in the first 1-0 Heat. Ball sent up the far boards. Tom Mellor trying to dribble between two Baltimore players. Everybody kind of got snuffed out, and Mellor just went back and recovered it, plays it to the middle, and a shot just wide by Gattaca. He's colliding in front with Vanzella, still loose in the Baltimore zone. Gonzaga trying to get control, and it's sent back out to Basso. The Heat pressuring again. Here's Tom Mellor over on the left side. Now Harrisburg will change up. 2:50 to go in the first 1-0 Harrisburg. On the near side, it's Basso. Far side, Kerstetter. And back to the keeper. Hugo's going to dump it all the way down into the corner, trying to get it to Cuba Perez. Center around for Vanzella. He has to quickly unload it back out to the neutral zone. And the Heat will try to take over. There's a miscue between Hugo and Basso. Almost left it hanging out there for Jamie Thomas, but Basso took control, and he'll play it down to the left corner for Perez. Both thought the other was going to take control of the ball. Vanzella picks it up now. He'll take his time and roll it onto the near side. Dos Santos. Ball sent all the way down to the near boards again. Moving through traffic. Pereira shot down the slot just wide. Follow-up is knocked to the side. Chiago getting it back to Kerstetter. He'll clear it up the far side. Now a little room to run. Cuba Perez down the left side, but catching back up to him is Santana, and Vanzella comes up with it. He'll clear it all the way down. Pereira with a little room to run. Moves in left side. Pereira plays it far side, but nobody home, and the ball goes wide. Round the boards, the Heat get knocked into the boards. That was Ricky Carvalho going hard in there, and it's only a foul against the Blast. I think that was against Dantas. Yep. 1:14 to go here in the first. 1-0 Harrisburg. Fans, don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Call Friedmont Mortgage Funding at 1-800-955-8508 or go to Friedmont.com. Heat restarting things. Hugo's setting it up the middle all the way to Vanzella. So the keepers exchanging passes, and Vanzella will send it back out. Donatelli, far side, getting pressure. Heat keeping good pressure on, not allowing Baltimore to really set up or establish any type of offensive rhythm. That time distribution too far for Gonzaga. And Dos Santos comes back up with it in his own zone, getting pressure from Texera. Ball sent back up for Donatelli. He'll move in against Gonzaga, playing it to the left side. Dantas shot blocked nicely by Chantel. Tom Mellor comes up with it in midfield, but he's getting a lot of pressure, a lot of grabbing going on. Gonzaga trying to get to it. Still loose along the boards. Gonzaga blocking it along the side. It goes into the Baltimore bench. It'll be a kick in for the Heat with 20 seconds to go here in the first. 1-0 Harrisburg with a lead late here in this first quarter. Ball sent up for Val Texera. He'll let it head ball into the corner. Doesn't get the shot off though. A little help there by Dos Santos Leaving it for Van Zella, but now Texera takes another shot, gets blocked, comes back out to the neutral zone, played all the way back to Hugo, and that should about do it. We've played one here in Harrisburg. Good first quarter for the Harrisburg Heat. They have the early 1-0 lead on the Blast. We'll come back with the second quarter here on the Heat Soccer Network.
Farm Show's large arena on Friday night, January 27th, as the Harrisburg Heat entertain Syracuse at 7:35. Then on Saturday night, January 28th, the Harrisburg Heat entertain Chicago at 7:05. For ticket information, it's harrisburgheat.com or 540-HEAT. That's 540-4328. Fans, be a true Harrisburg Heat fan by joining the Harrisburg Heat Fan Club. You'll enjoy all the latest news, meetings, gatherings, and postseason parties. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club is an essential supporter of this team and its players. Stop by the fan club table at any home game or email Jerry Holtry at harrisburgheatfanclub@comcast.net. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club, the best Heat fans around. Kids, learn to play soccer like your Harrisburg Heat with a Harrisburg Heat pregame soccer clinic each and every home game. Harrisburg Heat players and coaches will hold a pregame clinic. It gets you a game ticket, a t-shirt, personalized instruction, and you're on the field during introductions to the game. Harrisburg Heat game clinics, 2 hours before each and every Heat home game. For more information, go to harrisburgheat.com. Does your team, youth group, or organization need a fundraiser? Well, you can join the Harrisburg Heat. The Heat Fundraiser lets you have fun while you raise money for your organization. You'll be selling Harrisburg Heat tickets while keeping a portion of those proceeds for your organization. 25 ticket minimum is required. It's the Harrisburg Heat Fundraiser for all groups, organizations, and teams. Call 540-HEAT.
Back in Harrisburg, John Wilsbach with you. After one quarter of play, the Harrisburg Heat shutting out the Baltimore Blast 1-0. 10:22 Gonzaga with a steal and a goal to take that 1-0 lead. There's the Heat bench. Val Texera, team captain, talking, although I believe, wasn't sure if he had it on or Stephen Basso had on the captain armband. Denison Cabral, the all-time leading scorer for the Baltimore Blast, 941 points. He is the head coach for the Harrisburg Heat. The Heat will go from right to left on MASL TV, on YouTube. Glad to have you along. Also on the internet at WMSSFM.com. The TuneIn app on WMSS. We are underway in the second quarter. 1-0 Harrisburg. Perez knocks it over to the far side. Baltimore able to clear it back out to the neutral zone. Little room to run, but the Heat quick to get back, and Miller's going to knock it away from Mello. And back to Hugo. Coming up at halftime, we're going to talk to Jim Pollahan, former Baltimore Blast player, assistant coach, former Harrisburg Heat head coach. Here's some of his memories at halftime. So stick around for that, as he'll be joining us here in the broadcast booth. Pat Healy on it, back at his own end. Van Zella setting it all the way down into the left corner, getting it down to Tarragu. They'll work it out front. Mello still working it around the left point. And all the way back in midfield. Healy up to Van Zella, who brings it all the way across the midfield stripe. Getting a little dangerous now. Van Zella getting a little pressure again. And the Heat are going to push out. Van Zella's going to make a run in, take a shot just wide left. Almost put that one in. Ball poked away. Gonzaga trying to clear it out and wanted a holding foul and doesn't get it. Dos Santos has it. Man, what a rip by Vanzella from the yellow line at the right point. Just wide of that left post. Here's a steal by the Heat. Ricky Carvalho comes up with it, then sent down the middle, headed to the near side. And Baltimore trying to get it out of its own end. Far boards is Raleigh. Jeremy Raleigh playing it back to Vanzella, sending it up the middle. Heat sliding in, Gattaca coming in and sliding in, and Tergu taken out. And it'll be a restart coming up for Baltimore. They may have just gotten a delay of game warning against the Heat. So a tripping foul on Gattaca. And a restart coming up, either an encroachment warning or a delay. 13:02 to go here in the second. 1-0 Heat. Tergua down in the corner, brings it back out to the point. Out for Tony Donatelli in the neutral zone, and back to Vanzella. He'll take his time, playing it back down into the corner. Leo Duarte runs it down, but can't get it out. Baltimore comes back up with it, and then it's poked back out to the neutral zone, and a foul against Baltimore as Jeremy Raleigh collides with, I believe that was Ricky Carvalho. Got the old WWF eye gouge out of that one. So he's wiping the face, and he's helped out. Here's that shot by Vanzella. Look how close. Maybe even hit that left post when he took it. Far side, Lucio Gonzaga. He'll play it back to Hugo, and he'll look to bring it out for the Harrisburg Heat right to left. Hugo getting pressure now, has to chip it high in the air out to the neutral zone. Sent back the other way, intercepted by the Heat. Leo sending it all the way down, trying to get it to Gattaca, but it's pulled down by Vanzella. Gives a little shove off to Gattaca, didn't like his space being violated. Two players down on the carpet going for the ball now. The other end, and still out in the neutral zone. Baltimore with control. William Vanzella taking his time, blast changing up. Trying to get the pass to Vinny Dantas, but it's sent back to Healy. And Healy's going to send it all the way down into the corner. $11:30 to go in the second, 1-0 Heat. Heat are in Syracuse next Friday night. We'll be on the air at 7:30 for that one here on WMSSFM.com. And you'll also be able to watch the Syracuse announcer bring it to you on MASL TV. All right, the Heat trying to get some offense established here, get a little control. Chantel settling things down, back to Hugo, but Baltimore's pushing up the pressure. Hugo's forced to dump it all the way down to Perez in the right corner. Cuba working it back and forth. Now leaving it on the right side for Basso, but he wasn't positioned right. He'll get it back, though, and he'll bring it back out to the neutral zone across the near side of Thiago. Thiago steps in left point, back out at center circle to Chantel. Marcus Chantel, former Syracuse player. Last year said he was going to retire for the Heat, and then decided to come back another season as we get the foul on the blast. It'll be a restart coming up here for the Heat, right side of the box. A lot of pushing and grabbing down there, and a big shove by Healy on Perez, so it'll be a restart coming up in the bottom right side. Let's see where the Heat position everyone here. Perez out front with Basso and Miller at the opposite side. And the back post is Chantel. Thiago wants to call a timeout. and talk about this, so we'll step out. 10:25 to go here in the second. It's 1-0 Harrisburg on the Heat Soccer Network.
Fans, stay in touch with your Harrisburg Heat at WMSSFM.com for internet broadcast. If you want to watch the games, you can go to the MASL TV site on YouTube. YouTube and the MASL have teamed up all the games, video, and commentary on YouTube. And don't forget the TuneIn app on your smartphone set to WMSS. It's the WMSSFM.com and Harrisburg Heat.
Back in Harrisburg, John Wills back with you. Fans, injuries are part of the game and often a parent's worst nightmare. What can you do if an injury occurs on a weekend? Well, no worries. OSS has orthopedic urgent care 7 days a week. OSS is the official healthcare provider of the Heat 7 days a week, too. Go where the pros go. It's OSS. And if you're looking to rent, Morgan Communities, the official housing partner of the Harrisburg Heat, offers amazing and affordable options throughout central Pennsylvania. Homes are equipped with microwave, washer, dryer. Some have garages and fireplaces. Our players love it. Opposing players are envious. You can have it all. Contact Val, Maria, or Dylan today at Emerald Point of Morgan Communities. All right, restart coming up here for the Harrisburg Heat. Down the right corner. They put Chiago out front, Gonzaga on that right side. They'll play it instead to Basso, and he pops it up. And out of play near the top left side of the arc. Nice little thread of the needle by Ricky Carvalho to get it out there, but the shot unable to stay down. Manzello to restart things. And sent right back to him. Peter keeping that pressure on in midfield. Manzella tossing it high in the air. Ball takes a hop out at midfield and goes out of play. Gonzaga says he didn't touch it, but the official thinks he did. One overrules the other, and they're going to give it to the Heat. Hoxie doesn't like the call. One nothing Heat here in the second. Heat are still missing a player now. Miller will come on. Perez over on the far side. Tries shooting it off the boards. It gets blocked by Dos Santos and sent all the way back. Kerstetter to the near side. Leo Duarte. And now Hugo takes control outside his yellow. He'll dump it all the way down the left corner. Hops over to Perez now on the left wing boards. He'll leave it behind him. Comes back over to Perez. His shot gets blocked out of play. And it'll be a kick in for the Harrisburg Heat. Restart top of the arc for Harrisburg. This time they'll put Gonzaga to the left. Out front will be Chiago and Miller. Who's going to take the shot? Three-man wall in front. It'll be Miller. He'll pull the trigger. Bullseye! Tom Miller with a rip. Manzella yelling at his three-man wall because someone must have moved or flinched or just gave enough room for Tom Miller. Let's see if anybody moved here. They just squeezed it in tight. Time of the goal, 5:26. Tom Miller, unassisted, makes it 2-0 Heat. His fourth goal of the season. So an unassisted goal, Tom Miller. 2-0 Harrisburg. Here it is again. He'll approach. And everybody kind of moved out of the way. It looked like Donatelli really flinched there. Not sure exactly where that ball went through, but that whole wall moved. So just not one player sent around out front. Cleared back out. They'll go back and look at that film and tell them, you've got to stand your ground and take the punishment if you're going to be part of that wall. Your job is to block it, protect your keeper. And they certainly didn't do it there. The Heat with a 2-0 lead. Chantel. Back and forth, sends it to Hugo, who wasn't expecting it back. Now he looks to bring it out. They'll dump it all the way down to the near side, trying to get it to Texera, who comes away with it, but will be called for the pushing foul as he knocked over Pat Healy. Al Texera, team captain, fan favorite here, joined the Harrisburg Heat late in its first season on return. Season number 1. We're back in season 5 here in Harrisburg. Ball dumped down into the left corner. Tergu back to Healy. Out center circle, it's Mello. To the near side, Pereira. Pereira's going to work it down the right side, looks to move into the right point, and nice job by Basso to manhandle him. Texera will clear it out to the far boards. He's got Gonzaga running on, and then he loses it. Mello gets it back and sends it up on the near side. Here's Dos Santos with it in midfield. He'll circle back and play it over to the opposite side. And Mello's going to move it forward. Now they'll leave it. Caltabiano at the right point. He'll send it back out of midfield to Jeremy Rowley, all the way back to the keeper, William Van Zella. 2-0 Heat, 7:40 to play in the second. Down the right corner, Dantas with a shot, swatted to the side by Hugo. Leo Duarte clearing it out to the far boards. Unable to get any help over there by Chiago. Leo make that Ricky Carvalho now clearing it out. And Dos Santos comes back for it. He'll send it all the way down into the left corner. Perez there, deep in his own end. Needs to protect it. Instead, Baltimore has it, but they don't attack immediately. 7 minutes to go in the second, 2-0 in favor of the Harrisburg Heat. Last time the Heat defeated Baltimore, I believe, I'll have to go back and look, was back in the initial first seasons of the Harrisburg Heat, probably 2002 would be my guess. Ball sent all the way down to the right side. Blast on it again. Dantas squirts by. Hugo comes over, swats it briefly. Chiago trying to get it out. Can't. Baltimore keeps it alive at the right point. Donatelli, near side, brings it back out. Heat having a hard time getting control. Baltimore doing a nice job with control, but not getting off any quality shots. Donatelli near side midfield, dumping it all the way down to the right side. Dantas one timing it wide, comes back out to Donatelli. Over to Pat Healy at center circle. And Donatelli and Healy again. The Heat starting to push out a little bit further. Ball dumped down into the corner. Dantas on it there. Now shot wide by Healy, and Chiago will bring it out for the Heat. Chiago sending it back to his own end. The Heat were changing up. Basso has to retreat and clear it back out to the neutral zone. On the near side, Ricky Carvalho has it. And now Chantel will slow it up as the Heat are getting some fresh bodies out there one at a time. Chantel sending it all the way down near side. Gonzaga has it, moving in left side of the Baltimore zone, moves to the wing, shot wide. Ball comes back out front. Meller knocks it down, pulls the trigger just wide right. And Baltimore trying to clear it out with the help of Healy and Mello on the near side, stolen back by Chantel. He should have just heel kicked it. He had Gonzaga behind him, but I don't think he realized that. And Hugo comes up with it. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. 2-0 Heat. Hugo's going to dump it down to the left side. Comes over again to Gonzaga. Left corner. Gattaca steps in, trying to get control of the ball as well. Chips it back out to the wing, but nobody home for the Heat. And Baltimore will bring it back out. Up the near side. Here comes Andrew Hoxie. Sends it around, but nobody in front to finish it. Gattaca comes over at the yellow line. Double teamed along the boards, and Baltimore wins it back. Hoxie again on it in the neutral. 4:22 to go in the second. 2-0 Harrisburg. Here's a steal by the Heat, but Vanzella a little out of position. Gattaca is going to pop it deep and out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Blast. Good heads-up thinking, though. If you got him out of position, let one go. Here's Hoxie again, working against Chantel at the right point. Out to the neutral zone to Santos. And it's center circle. Santana playing it to the left side. Dos Santos gets it back. He'll send it down to Hoxie. Gets it back on the left side. Shot and a save by Hugo. And the Heat are able to clear it with Thiago getting it all the way down for Perez, but it gets deflected over to Vanzella. And Santana will bring it out once again for the Blast. Heat with a 2-0 lead. Another steal by the Heat. Here's Cuba Perez. Trying to move in, but stops outside the yellow. Plays it all the way out of midfield. And we will get an official stoppage here. We have a foul on Perez with 3:29 to go in the second. Now Baltimore takes over. And there's a shot at the other end. One touch, just a little bit too high out of play by Pereira. But that foul was on Perez. You go down right now, stretching out a little bit. Just needs a minute for that groin muscle to stretch out, but he will take his time getting back up. 3:23 to go in the second. Jim Pollahan will be our halftime guest coming up. Former Baltimore Blast and former Harrisburg Heat head coach. Hugo almost gave it away. Getting pressure as he was passing back and forth with Chantel, and good pressure by Terragu. And Sophie almost knocked that one in. Hugo again, back near his box, will chip it up the middle of the field, trying to get it to Miller, but it goes to Texera. He moves it to Miller on the right wing, shot, kick save Vanzella, still loose down alongside the box, and Baltimore looks to bring it back out and does, but Gonzaga is going to run it down in the neutral zone, tapping it to Chantel, and all the way back to Basso, who will head it to the keeper, Hugo. Hugo Silva rolls it again to Chantel. Heat changing up once again. Hugo sending it up the middle. Almost a giveaway, but Mello has to recover it along the near side. That was Ricky Carvalho out front. Now Mello, or check that, Thiago, who almost gave it away. Shot gets blocked to the far side, knocked back out by Chantel. 2:25 to go in the second, 2-0 Heat. Fast-paced game here thus far. Near side, Healy. He'll cross it back over to the far side. Healy still finding those playing legs and playing shape. Going to take him a few more games till he's back to where he was at the end of last season. Terragu out at midfield. Dos Santos at center circle. He'll send it down into the right corner. Ball sent around the boards to the opposite side. Nicely by Donatelli, but no one on that backside to finish it off. And it comes back out to the neutral once again. 2-0 Heat with the lead late here in the second. Rally playing it over to the far side. Dos Santos to the right side. Donatelli. He'll move in toward the right wing. He'll send it off the boards, and it's knocked to the side by Leo Duarte. Still loose out front. Dos Santos has it again. Another shot, this time blocked by Kerstetter. Heat defense. Playing tough. All dumped down the corner. Donatelli trying to get to it once again. Donatelli sends it back out to the neutral zone. And these two teams play again in 2 weeks. Saturday the 14th in Baltimore. Get your tickets, folks. BaltimoreBlast.com. Same for you Heat fans heading down 83. There's a shot just wide on that left side by Vinny Dantas. And the foul against the Blast. Always great when Harrisburg Heat fans make that trip down and make some noise in Baltimore. A little tough because you Blast fans show up in force and support your Blast. But it should make for another great game in a couple weeks. Manzella comes up with it, takes his time, puts it down. Plays it all towards the Heat zone. Kerstetter trying to keep Pereira off the ball. Sent to the middle and a goal. Basso was there in the middle, but unable to make that stop as the ball in the corner chipped right to the top, and Johannes Mello able to finish it off. Dantas with a nice pass finding Mello. Time of the goal, 14:32. And Mello from Dantas makes it a 2-1 game. Mello's 7th of the season. Now we have to restart things in midfield. Dantas held it just long enough in that right corner, and Basso just could not get back in front of Mello enough to block that pass or stop the shot. And Dantas found him, and Mello finished it. Ball sent down the corner, sent around the boards of the opposite side. Perez is going to run it out of danger. 6 seconds to go in the half. Perez outside the yellow, his shot hits off Gonzaga, and that will do it. We have played 2 quarters. We're at halftime here in Harrisburg. It's Harrisburg 2, the Baltimore Blast 1. We invite you to stay tuned for the halftime show. Jim Pollahan, our guest, when we come back after this on the Heat Soccer Network.
Cute little dog in the pet store window. Chances are it came from a puppy mill, a breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help, just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
I'm Ben Utek. I played high school, college, and pro football, helping my team win the 2006 championship. It was an amazing day, but it can't compare to the joy I feel every day with my loving wife and 3 beautiful daughters. My football career ended after I suffered my 5th concussion. Did you know that over 1 million athletes suffer a concussion each year? That includes boys and girls, every age, every type and level of sport. It isn't always clear that a player has had a concussion, so parents, athletes, and coaches need to learn about concussion signs and symptoms. The American Academy of Neurology recommends athletes thought to have a concussion be immediately removed from play and not returned until assessed by a healthcare professional trained in concussion. This isn't just about sports. It's about your brain. When in doubt, sit it out. Learn more at aan.com/concussion. That's aan.com/concussion. A message from the American Academy of Neurology.
Welcome back. John Wilsbach with you at halftime. 2-1 the Harrisburg Heat, leading the Baltimore Blast. This holiday game, and always great to invite back to the broadcast booth the former head coach of the Harrisburg Heat and an assistant in Baltimore, player in the Baltimore Blast organization, And my former roommate on the road with the Harrisburg Heat, Jim Pollahan. Welcome back, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. It's great to be here.
Well, I'll tell you, you come in and get to see a typical Harrisburg-Baltimore battle. These two teams right now going at it good.
Yeah, they're feisty. The speed of the game is phenomenal, and both teams have created some great scoring chances, and it's been exciting. It looks like it should be more than a 2-1 game at this point, but the keepers are both playing well.
How is it for you to come back as a head coach and sit down, just take in a game, don't have to worry about strategy or coaching, and you get to watch the guys that you used to coach out there coaching, and Danny Kelly and David Bascom and even Gino DeFlorio.
Right, it's enjoyable. It's great to see the game still surviving, and actually the speed of the game is probably even faster than when the old Heat were playing. The skill levels are very strong. It's great to come back and just watch and be able to relax and enjoy myself.
Well, let's go back to your playing days. Of course, you spent time in Baltimore, and then even as an assistant coach under Kenny Cooper. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I moved to Baltimore from a franchise that was down in Houston, and started the franchise in Baltimore, I believe it was 1980. Played 4 seasons there. In my last season, we won the championship. I did some TV work for the team for a couple of seasons, and then came back as Kenny Cooper's assistant, and spent 5 years as the assistant coach in Baltimore prior to coming up here to the Berg to coach the Heat.
What was it like being a player and then being an assistant with Kenny Cooper? Because he is a legend in indoor soccer.
Well, I learned a lot from him when I was playing for him, and then I came as an assistant, and we continued to work very well together. We had 5 very, very strong seasons when I was with him as an assistant, and the opportunity, I was going to stay there, but the opportunity to coach and not have to go far from the Baltimore area came up with Harrisburg, and I said, this is the time for me. If it works out, great, and we're still here in the Berg.
Well, when you came to Harrisburg, you were able to bring another Baltimore person with you eventually in Richard Chinapoo. And how great was that, having such a veteran defender who also served, in the locker room and as kind of an assistant for you?
Right. It was a great addition to the team. Our first season in Harrisburg, we had a very young team, a very strong team. I mean, we were excellent. Didn't get past that first round of the playoffs, which disappointed everyone.
But you lost to the eventual champion in Detroit that season.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I knew Richard from my playing days, and he came to Baltimore my last season of playing there, and then I knew him as a player when I was the assistant coach. Excellent player, excellent professional. And when he was retiring from playing in Dallas, I called him up and said, we got a great opportunity here, and he jumped on it, and it worked out perfect for both ends.
I'll tell you, there's no love loss between Harrisburg and Baltimore, especially those years that you were the coach. Lots of battles, lots of fights, lots of incidents. I mean, it was truly one of those games that you got up for. You didn't have to probably say anything about it.
Right. I think the players, I had brought a number of players here that had played briefly for the Baltimore Blast. Maybe didn't get the opportunity that they thought they should get when they were with the Blast. And I think we surprised them because they were a team that had been around for a long time. We were the new up-and-comers, and we took it to them almost every game, and we had some battles, and it was a great series.
You're a St. Louis boy, and I guess we've talked about this many times over the years. 1995, great season for the Heat with some of these players out here, or coaches, I should say, Danny Kelly and David Bascom, but losing in the championship that season to the St. Louis team, and kind of bittersweet for you.
Well, it was great getting to the finals, and you always hope when you're in the finals you'll come out as the winner. If you don't win it, you hope that you come out with some wins. Unfortunately, the 2 games out in St. Louis, they really took it to us and handled us pretty handily. We had some injuries, and I'm sure they did too, but we were missing some key players for a good part of that series. And the 4th game here, we built a huge
11-0, I think.
11-0. Actually, I think they scored with less than a minute to go in the first half to make it 11-1. We had some discontent in the locker room at halftime, and for whatever reason, we didn't come out and perform well in the second half, and ended up losing that game. And it would have been nice to have won one and sent it back to St. Louis. Had we been able to turn that series around, very doubtful. But getting to a final as a very young team, it was only our fourth season in the league, I believe.
Right.
We were very proud of that, but very disappointed in the way it ended.
Yeah, Jamie Swanner was put back in goal for that game, of course, and one of the all-time great goalkeepers of indoor soccer, remembering it well. When you look at all the players who have gone through your system of coaching in Harrisburg, who were your favorites personally?
Well, I mean, you look at the ones that are coaching now, and they were coaches when they were with us. They stuck together as a group. David and Danny were two phenomenal players over the years for us. Mark Pulisic and Bob Lilly, phenomenal players. Bill Betcher, phenomenal player. And they're all coaching now and being successful as coaches. So that brings a lot of pride. Richard was one of our greatest players of all time. Went on to coach the Heat on a full-time basis. Continued to work in the soccer industry now down in Miami and possibly coming back to the Harrisburg area again. But I mean, they're all special and fit together well as a team. We had a great chemistry, and when you have a great chemistry and they work for each other, you have a chance to do well. And I feel that we did very well because of that.
Let's take you back to 1980 again, and your days playing with the Blast. Tell us a little bit about that championship game and winning it for Baltimore.
Well, surprisingly enough, when we did win the championship, we beat St. Louis. So I had a chance then to beat the hometown boys. But it was a very strange season for us because we were expected to do very well. We started the season, and at the midway point, we were just above 500. And Kenny made a few changes, not bringing new players in, but changing the players that were playing regularly and changed our system a little bit. And we went on a run and won. I think we were 19-3 our last 22 games or whatever. And from there, the playoffs we just fed off of that and did phenomenal. I mean, we had players from all over the world. The Yugoslavians, we had Stankovic was there. Peter Barilich was there. We had the U.S. connection with Joey Fink and Dave McWilliams, Keith Van Aaron and Scott Manning in goal, and just a great. Timmy Whitman was in probably his second year of playing and really came on strong at that time, and just everything fell together the second half of the season, and toward the end we just couldn't be beat.
Talking to Jim Pollahan here at halftime. It's 2-1 Harrisburg leading the Baltimore Blast for the historic value of indoor soccer. A lot of folks may not have realized you scored the first goal in the history of the MISL.
That is correct, John. Way back in 1978, so I am dating myself a little bit here, but in 1978 when the league first formed, I believe we had 5 teams in the league. I was playing with the New York Arrows, and our first game of the season opener for the league was against the Cincinnati Kids, partly owned by Pete Rose. Pete Rose kicked out the first ball that night, and we were playing in Nassau Coliseum, and I was a defender with the New York Arrows. But early on in the game, I think it was the second quarter, went on an overlapping run and got a nice pass from, I believe it was Luis Alberto, and struck at far post against Keith Van Aaron.
Uh-huh.
He was with the Cincinnati Kids and scored the first goal. We went on to win that game 7-2.
Fantastic. You played against Pele?
Played against Pele a number of times when I was with the Rochester Lancers in the outdoor NESL, and actually had the honor of being on the front cover of Soccer Digest.
Yes.
In his final year, 1978. It was his retirement year, and they had him focused on the cover of the magazine, and I would happen to be the one that was guarding him. So pretty special.
But I got to know, did he ever score on you?
He scored on everyone, John. The man was fantastic. But we had our battles with New York Cosmos in Rochester. We were the smallest city probably in the league, and probably the smallest budget, but we could play against all of them, and we were always in the same division with the Cosmos, and did very well against them, beat them a number of times, but when it came down to playoff games, we could never get past them.
Before I let you go, what are you doing these days?
I work for the Commonwealth, the Department of Revenue. I've been there for about 4 years now, probably another 3-4 years before I'm thinking about retirement. My daughter is a sophomore in college, so we have those commitments that will be ongoing for a number of years. But my wife Barb and I are both still working, still involved in soccer in the area. I referee high school games in the PIAA. So it keeps me busy. I follow the game. Love to come down here and see the games and support the team.
How's the refereeing experience? Because
it's been very good.
Okay.
I mean, you have situations like in any sport, referees are not perfect. And whenever you blow your whistle, someone thinks it's a bad call. Or some team sometimes thinks it's bad, because it's always going against someone. So, but you learn to live with that. You can't be affected by it. If you listen to everyone that's saying something about the officials, you'll never get the game played. Yeah. And the indoor game being as tight, close quarters, and the speed of the game, there's always contact, and somebody always wants to hear a whistle for their team. But I think the referees are doing a fine job keeping the game flowing and letting the players play.
You ever think about refereeing in this league? Tim Tima does. You can.
Well, you know what, John? My knees are not as good as they used to be. And I think to do the game justice on the field, I mean, knowing the rules and enforcing them correctly is the important thing. Yeah. But being close to the play is equally as important. And, this game is so fast, you've got to be able to get up and down the field and be close to the action. And I think I'm a little bit beyond that point.
Well, Jim, we appreciate you stopping by here at halftime and letting our Baltimore fans enjoy some of your memories, and the Heat fans as well from yesteryear, and all those former MISL junkies out there who love hearing the stories about your playing days. Thanks so much for stopping by. You had a great time here in Harrisburg from 91 till, was it 97 or 98?
98 is the last season that I was behind the bench.
And then Chinapoo took
yeah.
over. And then Eric Geyer after that. But some great years here of indoor soccer in Harrisburg, and we certainly will remember them well.
And we had some fine road trips.
We did too. We ate well.
We always find a nice place to eat. That's for sure. But very enjoyable. I'm glad that you're still involved and keeping the voice of the Heat alive and well. And this is always going to be a special rivalry, I think, when Baltimore and Harrisburg get together. And tonight is showing that right now with 2-1 at halftime. Let's hope the Heat can score some more, because Baltimore is going to keep coming.
That's right. Well, thanks again, Jimmy, for stopping by.
All right, Johnny. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. Jim
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Former head coach for the Heat, also a former Blast. We're at halftime, 2-1. Harrisburg leading the Baltimore Blast. We'll come back with your halftime stats. Out-of-town scoreboard at the start of the second half here on the Heat Soccer Network.
Check out the Harrisburg Heat merchandise stand at all Harrisburg Heat home games with new replica jerseys, both the home and the away, quarter zips, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and so much more. It's the Harrisburg Heat merchandise, all the stuff you need to be a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Stay in touch with your Harrisburg Heat with HarrisburgHeat.com, the Heat's Facebook page, and with Twitter. You'll be kept up to date on all the scores, statistics, and happenings of the Harrisburg Heat. Read about your favorite player, find out what happened on the road game, and enjoy the company of other Harrisburg Heat fans.
Pro Indoor Soccer returns to the Farm Show's large arena on Friday night, January 27th as the Harrisburg Heat entertain Syracuse at 7:35. Then on Saturday night, January 28th, the Harrisburg Heat entertain Chicago at 7:05. For ticket information, it's harrisburgheat.com or 540-HEAT. That's 540-4328. Fans, be a true Harrisburg Heat fan by joining the Harrisburg Heat Fan Club. You'll enjoy all the latest news, meetings, gatherings, and postseason parties. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club is an essential supporter of this team and its players. Stop by the fan club table at any home game or email Jerry Holtry at harrisburgheatfanclub@comcast.net. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club, the best Heat fans around. Kids, learn to play soccer like your Harrisburg Heat with the Harrisburg Heat pregame soccer clinic. Each and every home game, Harrisburg Heat players and coaches will hold a pregame clinic. It gets you a game ticket, a t-shirt, personalized instruction, and you're on the field during introductions to the game. Harrisburg Heat game clinics, 2 hours before each and every Heat home game. For more information, go to harrisburgheat.com. Does your team, youth group, or organization need a fundraiser? Well, you can join the Harrisburg Heat. The Heat fundraiser lets you have fun while you raise money for your organization. You'll be selling Harrisburg Heat. Thousands of people come here to Harrisburg for the annual farm show. At halftime, 2-1 Harrisburg leading. Let's run down the scoring for you at 10:22 of the first. Nice save by Hugo Silva. Some nice stops on Hoxie, but the Heat had a nice run defensively with the stops by their keeper, and they made a mistake by Baltimore. Cost them right there as Gonzaga intercepts the pass from Van Zella, coming over to, I think that was Mello, and got in front and finished it off. At 10:22, made it 1-0 Heat. Went back the other way. He'd had a couple opportunities, but it was this restart here.
Tom Miller blasting one right through the three-man wall to give the Heat a 2-0 lead at 5:26 of the second. Heat were pitching that first half shutout in this contest. But at 14:32, man, look at Van Zilla had an opportunity there. Shot one wide. But down the corner, great job here by Dantas, who was able to get the ball to Mello in the middle of the box. And this is the play we're looking at now. And right there, just a one touch, and Mello put it in at 14:32 for his 7th goal of the season, making it 2-1. Our score at the half. Fans, don't forget to get your Heat merchandise at our stand on the main concourse or visit our online store at harrisburgheat.com. Put some heat under the Christmas tree. Well, look, you're still looking for some gifts for folks, or you've got some Christmas money, you need to buy stuff, right there at our online store. If you need the best products and services and office documents, call Docio. They service all Central PA and have earned a reputation so strong that we made them the official copier company of the Harrisburg Heat. And don't forget to get the latest from around the league and follow at MASL Arena on Twitter. Harrisburg going left to right here in this third quarter. Tom Miller over on the far side trying to split the traffic, getting it down for Perez. They'll move it over toward the left wing boards, goes down, but can't keep control, and Donatelli will bring it out. Ball sent up the middle, Basso will intercept. Back up to Miller, up the far side, looking to fake, works toward the middle, and as he tries setting it down the slot, it gets blocked again. Over on the far boards, Pereira with it. Gonzaga comes up with it. He'll work to the middle, play to the right side. Kerstetter back to the middle, gets deflected back to Kerstetter again to the opposite side, and his shot is blocked. As Ganica got over there at it. Make that Perez. And Kerstetter gets it back. Nice opportunity there. They had Baltimore spread out around the box. Ricky Carvalho playing it back in midfield. Kerstetter sending it back to the keeper. And Hugo Silva dumping it down into the corner, trying to get it to Val Texera. He'll play it out to the right point, leaving it for Leo Duarte, and it hits off the back, skimmed off the back of maybe Santana, and out of play. It'll be a corner kick coming over the Heat. Here's William Van Zella, championship keeper for this Baltimore team. Right now, the Heat in front 2-1. Thiago plays it toward the middle, but it gets deflected and brought back out. Donatelli has it knocked away from him. Hugo comes back over it. He'll send it over to the far side. Tom Miller has it poked away by Hoxie. Now Hugo will send it over to Basso. Basso and Hoxie were teammates a couple years ago in Rochester. Chantel on it. Back to Hugo. He'll fire it down into the right corner. Fernando Gatica make that Perez, turning and shooting. Now rolled to Healy, who sends it towards his bench, but it goes out of play. Sent it too high. He was looking over there for Terragu. The Heat want the restart in the Baltimore zone, but they're going to get it right in front of the Baltimore bench. 12:38 to go in the third. 2-1 Harrisburg. Restart coming up. Basso sending it down. Perez left side, shot blocked, still loose in the middle of the box. Baltimore dangerously able to get it back out. 3-on-2 develops down the middle. Mello, right side, Terragu, score! He got it on the short side of Hugo, right along the post. Hugo was not guarding the post tight enough. And Sophie Terragu able to slide it past his left side. Ball played by Mello. Time of the goal, 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Tergu from Mello. His first goal of the season makes it a 2-2 game. That's one I think Hugo would like to have back. We're tied at 2. Last year, the Heat gave a good fight to Baltimore down in Baltimore in December. It was like a December 12th or 13th game, trying to remember. And playing tight and tough, and could not get the win down there. I gave them a little scare. The Heat losing a 2-0 lead. It's a 2-2 game early here in the third. Fans, don't forget to become a member of the Harrisburg Heat Fan Club. Register at their stand next to the Heat merchandise stand. Tons of perks to support our players. They also have a 50-50 raffle to benefit the fan club and the SKIP program's Goals Soccer program. See our good friend Jerry Holtree and be a member of the Harrisburg Heat Fan Club. Heat knock one out of play again, and it'll be a restart for Baltimore at the top of the arc. The illegal procedure early here in the third. So a three-man wall is going to have to set up in front of Mello. Dantas to the left. He'll take the shot just wide right. Healy runs it down the far board, sending it all the way back to Vanzella. Up the middle, trying to get it to Donatelli. Knocks around. Dos Santos. Back to Donatelli. Down for Hoxie. Leo's on him. Hoxie battling, pokes back out. Dos Santos sends it to the middle, knocks to the side. Back out near the top of the arc. Gattaca trying to clear it. Got a little bit of a pop on it to at least get it out to the neutral. And Gattaca, right in front of the Baltimore bench, takes an elbow to the head from Dos Santos. Gattaca was right in front of the bench, and Dos Santos, to pop him out of the way, lifted up the arm. He didn't catch it on the camera, but it was away from the play, and I just happened to be looking over that way. And threw the elbow on Fernando Gattaca, who went immediately down to the carpet. And he will go off, and a 2-minute penalty will be assessed on Adriano Dos Santos. Time of the penalty, 3:56 of the third. Dos Santos with an elbow. And the Heat will go on the power play. The Heat are 44% on the man advantage this season. Now they're going to call a penalty on Gattaca. Not sure what that one's for. Baltimore 71% penalty killing. Wipe that off because there is no power play. Teams are at equal strength, playing on a 4-on-4 instead of a 5v5. So they also gave a penalty to Gattaca. So it may have just been too unsportsmanlike on both of them. All right, here's Thiago, down to the left side. Ball, goal! Ricky Carvalho. He slid that one past Vanzella. Vanzella backed up close to that far post. And Ricky was able to put it on the back right side. Ricky Ricardinho Carvalho. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 29 seconds. Ricardinho Carvalho, his 8th of the season, puts the Heat back in front, 3-2, and that was a 4-v4 goal for the Heat. Here's Van Zella again, pushing all the way out across midfield. Working towards the yellow line, he steps into the Heat zone again, having a hard time getting control and able to poke it away from Gonzaga, but Basso from midfield, just missing wide right. And Baltimore's getting very, very advantageous with this ball, and almost gave up another deep one. And Zella sending it down into the corner, trying to get it down to Healy. They're taking risk. They're only down by 1. You wouldn't think that they would try to be doing that at this point yet. At midfield again, Van Zella. He was in the Heat zone just inside the yellow line. Now he'll lose the ball on the near side. That's a problem focusing. Still in the front half of the field with Healy. Back to Van Zella. He'll approach the yellow line this side. This time on the near side. See if the Heat will step in front again. That's how Gonzaga got an earlier goal. Van Zella, left corner. Almost using him as a 6th attacker. Now the penalties are over. Both teams back to a 5v5, but Van Zella wasn't aware of Gattaca coming out of the penalty box. Ball sent out to the neutral zone. Dos Santos on it. All the way back to Van Zella. 8:42 to go in the third. 3-2. Harrisburg with the 1-goal lead. Mello comes up with it down along the left wing boards. Out to the wing. Back toward the corner. Still battling along the side. Gattaca able to clear it back out. Too far though for Carvalho. Ball dumped back down in the corner and Pereira runs it down. Outside the yellow line to the near side, Dos Santos. Back over to Van Zella. He'll play it down toward the right corner. Vinny Dantas had a great game, first one of the season against the Heat. Being shut down thus far in this one, only has an assist. You go with the ball, he'll bring it out himself. And now he's going to dump it all the way down over the crossbar, out of play, just too far. Still to be a goal kick. You got a lot of Brazilians on this Heat team and a lot of Brazilians on this Baltimore team. We've got the official mid-quarter timeout. Our score with 7:44 to play here in the third is Harrisburg 3 and Baltimore 2. Back on the Heat Soccer Network.
Check out the Harrisburg Heat merchandise stand at all Harrisburg Heat home games with new replica jerseys, both the home and the away, quarter zips, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and so much more. It's the Harrisburg Heat merchandise, all the stuff you need to be a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Stay in touch with your Harrisburg Heat with HarrisburgHeat.com, the Heat's Facebook page, and with Twitter. You'll be kept up to date on all the scores, statistics, and happenings of the Harrisburg Heat. Read about your favorite player, find out what happened on the road game, and enjoy the company of other Harrisburg Heat fans.
Well, the Heat are back home at the end of January 27th. Friday night game against Syracuse. And Saturday, January 28th, the Heat will entertain Chicago. For ticket information, HarrisburgHeat.com or 540-4328. Ball sent down into the left corner, trying to get it down for Hoxie. Knocks around. kept alive by Baltimore, but Harrisburg Heat player getting wiped out in the process, going for the ball to the near side. A little slow at getting up is Chiago. So the restart coming up. Chantel's going to restart it once Hoxie away from him. Ball booted all the way down, headed back out by Dos Santos. Hoxie comes back over it again. Plays it over to the right side. Ball sent around. Hugo's going to pick it up. And a shot by Caltabiano. Heat on it once again. Val Texera near the yellow line. Chips it. Left side. Looking to get it to Miller. Nice job. He was looking to line up that volley shot, but Santana was there to head it back to Vanzella. Caltabiano again gets bumped down from behind, but they don't call anything. Vanzella can't clear it out. Shot from the left side, loose in front. Texera's shot blocked. Now Healy trying to clear it out. Dos Santos up to Caltabiano. On the far side it goes. Tergu along the boards, able to keep control. He'll work it down the middle, playing it to the left side. Donatelli, top of the box. His shot blocked by Gonzaga. Still loose on the side, and Kerstetter will clear it. Back out. Vanzella comes up with it again. 6:22 to play in the third. 3-2 Harrisburg. Goals by Gonzaga. Tom Miller. And Ricardinho, Ricky Carvalho. Ball sent down into the right side, headed around. Hugo can't get his hands on it. Terragu keeps it alive. Headed again. Ricky trying to get it out. Kept into the corner, sent around to the near side. Gonzaga trying to keep control. Double team. Sends it back for Hugo. He'll knock it hard off the glass. Comes out to the point. And Baltimore will set things back up out in the neutral zone. A blaster home next Saturday against Dallas. In 2 Saturdays, make that 3 Saturdays, I guess, technically, the 14th of January, the Harrisburg Heat are in Baltimore. Now in the neutral zone, Jamie Thomas sending it down to the near side. Dantas, shot. Hugo with the save. Ball stays in play near side. Dantas battling Kerstetter, trying to poke it away. Lots of pushing, shoving, elbows, fist, grabbing, clutching. Oh, we got a little melee right down along the near corner. I'll tell you, it was very physical, so much that no one was really going for the ball. Everyone was more worried about throwing elbows and hands and fist. A typical Baltimore, Harrisburg battle. You can see 3 Blast players down there, 2 Heat players, and the trainer comes out to take a look right now at it's Leo Duarte or it's Ricky Carvalho. Yeah, it was Leo. So Leo Duarte up, walks off okay. Just looking at the group that was involved and now steps away. Mello comes over to try to give an excuse. The best thing to do is just stay away from each other and do it on the field. So this one's going to get more heated as the game goes on. 5:05 to go in the third. 3-2 Harrisburg. Fans, when the visiting teams come to visit Harrisburg, they stay at the Days Inn, North Harrisburg. It's on 3919 North Front Street, Harrisburg, just north of I-81. 717-233-3100 for the Days Inn, Harrisburg North. All sent up the field. Blast trying to get it out. Stolen away. Ricardinho, shot wide. Clear to the side. Carvalho trying to catch back up with it again. Sent down the left side. Dantas one times it wide. Basso will clear it out. Mello on the far side gets bumped down by Gonzaga. Free kick coming up for Baltimore. He tried to restart too soon. So they will do it again. Ball sent down to the left side. Shot saved by Hugo. Nice one. Dantas ripped that one from the left side. Blast still keep control out in the neutral zone. Stan Nago and Dustin Killick, your refs, trying to keep control of this one. .4:10 to go in the third. 3-2 Harrisburg. Still loose left side. Hoxie has control. Back out to the neutral zone. Far side, Dos Santos trying to make a run. He crashes right into Val Texera, and they're saying that he took a dive when he hit Texera, and the Heat will get the ball back. So the restart coming up. Basso, and back to Hugo. Hugo Silva dumping it down the left corner of the Heat, holding a 3-2 edge late here in the third quarter. Van Zilla. He'll toss it high in the air up the far side. And this one back to the Heat zone. And Perez comes away with it. Moves it up at center circle. Getting it down to Tom Miller. Left wing. Shot it up and out of play. There will be a restart coming up for Baltimore. Vans Viva Pizza is the official pizza provider for the Harrisburg Heat. We make sure we treat our visitors fine after the game, win or lose. And we give them pizza from Viva Pizza. Next to the Giant on Inglestown Road in Harrisburg. Baltimore with the ball again in the neutral zone. That's going to be Pereira working around, going against Ebanks, who has his first shift. And Chiago gets knocked down along the boards. Foul against the Blast once again. Well, fans, our players train hard 7 days a week, but even they get sore. And when they do, they visit Holmes Chiropractic for their adjustments. Holmes is the official chiropractor of the Heat. Go where the pros go, to Holmes. Hugo with the ball again, chipping it high in the air down to the corner. Perez trying to turn and shoot, popping it just wide. I think that Gattaca was the one who had that shot. Foul against Baltimore. Restart coming up for the Heat. Here's Chiago just kind of getting tripped up by Mello. And Ricardinho, Ricky Carvalho leaves it for Chiago. His shot is blocked. Chantel playing it back to Hugo, sends it up the middle and knocked back to the near side. Chantel comes up with it again, back to his keeper, chips it high in the air, out near center circle, headed the other way by Tergu. Mello all the way back to Van Zilla. 2:28 to go in the third. 3-2 Harrisburg. Anzella's going to chip it down. Tergu trying to come back out of it near the right point. Playing it back in midfield. Jeremy Rowley over to the far side. Dantas can't keep control, but Baltimore does, and Mello will send it to the near side. Dos Santos, maybe a give and go, but the Heat good defense getting it away from Donatelli. Here comes Gonzaga at midfield. The Heat will change up. Back to Hugo Silva. He'll play it far side. Chantel. 3-2. The Heat clinging to a one-goal lead. Hugo's going to dump it down into the left corner again. And sent back the other way. Hugo comes out with a head ball at midfield. Thiago getting up along the near side. Tom Meller. Meller moves into the right side, takes it deep into the corner, crosses to the middle, but it's chipped back out to the neutral zone. Nice defensive. People probably just try to blow off time until the last few seconds here. Or maybe just take this one into the quarter. Let's see. Caltabiano with a steal. Down the right side comes Dantas, crossing it, but the Heat able to intercept, and Basso turns and clears it out. We have played 3 here in Harrisburg. It's the Harrisburg Heat 3 and the Baltimore Blast 2. Fourth quarter coming up on the Heat Soccer Network.
Fans, be a true Harrisburg Heat fan by joining the Harrisburg Heat Fan Club. You'll enjoy all the latest news, meetings, gatherings, and postseason parties. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club is an essential supporter of this team and its players. Stop by the fan club table at any home game or email Jerry Holtry at harrisburgheatfanclub@comcast.net. The Harrisburg Heat Fan Club, the best Heat fans around. Kids, learn to play soccer like your Harrisburg Heat with the Harrisburg Heat pregame soccer clinic. Each and every home game, Harrisburg Heat players and coaches will hold a pregame clinic. It gets you a game ticket, a t-shirt, personalized instruction, and you're on the field during introductions to the game. Harrisburg Heat game clinics, 2 hours before each and every Heat home game. For more information, go to harrisburgheat.com. Does your team, youth group, or organization need a fundraiser? Well, you can join the Harrisburg Heat. The Heat fundraiser lets you have fun while you raise money for your organization. You'll be selling Harrisburg Heat tickets while keeping a portion of those proceeds for your organization. 25 ticket minimum is required. It's the Harrisburg Heat fundraiser for all groups, organizations, and teams. Call 540-HEAT. Fans, stay in touch with your Harrisburg Heat at WMSSFM.com for internet broadcast. If you want to watch the games, you can go to the MASL TV site on YouTube. YouTube and the MASL have teamed up all the games, video, and commentary on YouTube. And don't forget the TuneIn app on your smartphone set to WMSS. It's the WMSSFM.com and Harrisburg Heat.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill, a breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help, just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
Back in Harrisburg, John Wilsbach with you after 3 quarters of play. The Harrisburg Heat leading the Baltimore Blast 3-2. Here's an interesting stat. Only 9 shots for Baltimore and only 5 shots for Harrisburg. 3 of those counting as goals. The Heat getting 1 in the third at 4:29. Ricardinho Carvalho from Basso on a 4v4 situation to make it a 3-2 lead for the Heat. Can the Heat hold on here going into and through the fourth quarter? Look for it to get even scrappier and more wide open. Baltimore played last night, so they're still probably at this point finding those legs. And we start things off as the Heat go right to left on MASL TV and WMSSFM.com. Chantel playing it forward, back up the middle. Here's Basso. He'll make a run down the middle, steps in, shot. Was it a goal? No goal. It hit underneath the post, crossbar, and the opposite crossbar. And now we will have a discussion as Dustin Killick, the official closest to it, says no goal. He did not believe it went in. He thought it hit around the crossbars. I should say around the post and under the crossbar. Let's see if we can see here. Here's Basso. It looked to me like it did hit. It hit inside the left post, and it was just behind that right post when it went in and came back out. Did it completely cross the white line is the question. He smashes it there. It hits down. Wow. Because it looked like it hit the towel that's in the goal. And it hit that towel. It had to have been in the goal. You can see it hit the water bottle as well. We'll keep taking a few more looks, and now they're going to give it a goal. I agree. I definitely think that was in. So Basso gets the goal. The officials discussed it because you could see clearly that the water bottle popped out of the way and it hit the towel. They were both inside that right post. So Basso gets the goal. Steven Basso at 21 seconds of the fourth. One more time. Hits the left post, goes down. You see the water bottle was clearly inside the white line. And if it's clearly inside that white line and it hit that water bottle, one more time, Powell, it had to have been in. So a great call by the officials overruling the initial call. Basso with the goal for the Harrisburg Heat. His 5th of the season. Makes it 4-2. Great call. And those guys didn't even use replay. They were not seeing our replay, but it was the right call for them. They came over, they discussed it. Stan Nagel, Dustin Killick, Brendan Malarkey, and Eric Samples. I think it was just Malarkey in the he and Samples in that penalty box area, the assistant refs and fourth ref, and they said goal. That's a good call. Heat on it, trying to keep control, maintain this 2-goal lead, 4-2. And Zaga, near side Miller. Ball sent around the boards to the near side. Rally sends it the other way. Hugo getting it up the near side. Leo, long pass down. Tom Miller's going to run it down. Left corner, pokes it around, but Vanzilla grabs on. Mello brings it back out to the neutral zone. Early here in the fourth, 4-2 Harrisburg. Ball sent all the way down to the right side. Hoxie trying to work his way closer and get a shot off. Tall player, long legs. He'll send it back out to the neutral zone. Last will work it down in the left corner. Goes Santos, dumping it down for Hoxie. Goes out of play. It'll be a kick in for the Harrisburg Heat. Baltimore leading the East. Ahead of this Harrisburg Heat team. Here's Basso again. Sends one around. Goes to the opposite side and cleared back out. Heat keeping the pressure on. Ball sent down the middle. Hugo's going to grab on. Out in the neutral zone. Gonzaga getting a little pressure. Back to Hugo. All-time series here. Here come the Heat. Right side. Chip. Goal! Manzella came out to pressure. And the Heat able to put it in once again. Down that right side, Chiago. Able to find the net, and it's a 3-goal lead. Manzella came outside the box, tried to cut down the angle. Time of the goal, 2:59. And it's now 5-2. Chiago Freitas with his third goal of the season. Now we've got timeout, 12:01 to go. 5-2, Harrisburg leading the Baltimore Blast. Back after this on the Heat Soccer Network.
Check out the Harrisburg Heat merchandise stand at all Harrisburg Heat home games with new replica jerseys, both the home and the away, quarter zips, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and so much more. It's the Harrisburg Heat merchandise, all the stuff you need to be a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Well, this has been a long series between Baltimore and Harrisburg. Blast with a 49-34 edge, but in Harrisburg, the Heat have won 23 of 41 here in the Berg since the 90s when playing this Baltimore team. And they have not won, and I still haven't found the exact date against this Baltimore team since I think 2002. Need to go back and do some extra research on this one. The Heat up 5-2. They want to even the record at 4-4. Ball sent down into the corner. Shot just wide. Follow-up. Great save by Hugo. And cleared back out by Carvalho. Down the near side comes Perez. He'll step in left point. Cuba Perez down toward the corner. Bumped off the ball. Cleared back out. Hugo had some big saves at the other end. Hugo's going to send it out again. Perez trying to get to it, but called for the fouls. He trips up the Blast and Vinny Dantas. And don't forget, you can come out and hang out with the players and the fans at Mr. G's Sports Bar after the game. No one loves the Heat as much as Mr. G, but everyone loves Mr. G's food. Post-game, each game at Mr. G's, North 6th Street in Harrisburg. Ball sent down again, Hugo grabbing on. He is gaining momentum. Under pressure, playing it up the middle. He'd come up with it far side. Gattaca lost it. Brought back by Thomas. Poked back out by Basso. So Santos on it. Sends it to the middle. Kerstetter will intercept it. He'll tap it to the near side to Tom Meller, who gave it away. But a handball by Thomas. He gets away with it. Moves down. Hugo takes him out, takes the ball out, and now a little push by Basso. knocking over Thomas. A little heated pushing and shoving, as we will get a blue card against Basso coming in and pushing over Thomas. After the play, there was clearly a handball out in the neutral zone that Thomas got away with, but hey, you can get away with it, you just keep on going. But you've got to watch when to pick up those penalties and just how you do it. That one just clearly out in the open with a shove over, and time of the penalty is going to be 4:40. Will be a blue card, not a yellow, so a 2-minute penalty coming up on the Heat. It'll be against Basso. Very unsportsmanlike, I'm going to assume. Now the Blast will be on the power play. They're 50% on the season on the power play. The Heat 60% in penalty killing. So 2 minutes, we assume, for unsportsmanlike conduct. And the Heat will go shorthanded with Kerstetter, Chantel, Ebanks, and Gonzaga. All sent up the middle of the field. And Baltimore wants to get back into it here. They're down 5-2, and they've got the man advantage. Healy leads the way up the middle. He's got Dantas to his right. He'll settle it there at the right wing. Shot blocked in the middle, and Gonzaga, make that Chantel, will clear it back up the middle of the field. 1:32 on the power play. Here's Healy again up the middle. Left side, Donatelli. Back out for Healy. Getting pressure up the far side, circling back. Now sends it back to Van Zella. Great job by Gonzaga, keeping the pressure up front. Healy over to Dantas' right side. Moves in, shot, save, Hugo, as he knocks it back out to the right point. Gonzaga comes up with it, then loses it. Healy again. Healy sends it far side for Donatelli. Chantel gets a piece of it, but Dos Santos sends it back out. Pat Healy again. Fresh out of retirement. Over to the left side, Donatelli. Healy tries passing, blocked by Gonzaga. 48 seconds to go on the man advantage for Baltimore. Ball dumped down to the right side. They had Hoxie briefly open. Shot, kick, saved by Hugo. Great job on Dantas. Ball give and go. Another shot to save, loose in front, and Hugo's going to grab on before Hoxie gets there. Chantel says, stay away from my keeper, man. And Hugo Silva coming up with some nice saves. Now he's complaining about his back. Earlier it was a little bit of a groin pull, and the Brazilian is face first down on the carpet right now, stretching it out. 8:52 to go in the fourth, 5-2 in favor of the Harrisburg Heat. Fans, don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Call Friedmont Mortgage Funding, 800-955-8508, or go to Friedmont.com. And these injuries are part of the game. As you can see, our friends at OSS are on the scene, taking care of any injuries we have with the Heat. And they can, of course, take care of any injuries you might have on a weekend. OSS has orthopedic urgent care 7 days a week. They're the official healthcare provider of the Heat 7 days a week. Go where the pros go. OSS. Thanks so much this season to Ask Me Council 13 that sponsored our military night. Our friends at PSECU sponsored Ice Scraper Night. The Harrisburg Heat back home Friday and Saturday, January 27th and 28th. Syracuse and Chicago in town that weekend. Get your tickets at harrisburgheat.com or call 540-4328. And don't forget, Harrisburg Heat have fundraisers for your group or organization or team. Selling Harrisburg Heat tickets. Your group or organization will get to keep a portion of those proceeds. So talk to our good friend in the Heat office, our friends in the Heat office at 540-HEAT. Leave a message. If no one answers, they'll get back to you as soon as they can. Get your organization set up for a good fundraiser. 5-2 Harrisburg. Little give and go action. Miller coming back, trying to keep it away from Dos Santos. Leo trying to get it out. Lets it go, and Hugo will grab on. Coming up on the midway point of the fourth quarter with the Heat holding a 3-point lead. 12 seconds remaining on the power play for Baltimore. And then Basso can come out of the penalty box. One more attempt here for the Blast. Healy up the middle. Tries passing, stolen away by Gonzaga. 5 seconds on the power play. Gonzaga moves in right side, plays it left side, too far for Miller. He'll pull the trigger. Saved by Vanzella. Cleared back out by Dos Santos. Basso's out of the penalty box. Teams are at equal strength. The Heat have killed off the penalty. Harrisburg with a 5-2 lead with 8:05 to go here in the fourth. Ball sent down to Hoxie at the right wing. Working out front. Taps it back out to the neutral zone. On to the right side. Ball sent around the boards. Basso will clear it back out. Mello trying to come up with it. He'll send it over to the left side. Up and out of play by Pereira. It'll be a goal kick for the Heat. And we will take, are they going to take the mid-quarter timeout? I guess not. Thought they were. Ball sent up the middle of the field. Chiago kicks it high in the air. So Santos trying to come up with it. He gets knocked down by Perez. It'll be a foul against Cuba. Quickly, Baltimore restarts things. Teams are at equal strength. Midway through the fourth, 5-2 Harrisburg. Along the near side. Ricky Carvalho gets knocked down. No foul whistled. Thomas comes up with it. Has a man down the middle, left of the box. Hugo comes diving out. Hands first and swats it away. He'd come up with it again as Kerstetter's going to be called for the foul. It'll be a restart for the Blast. Left point of the Heat zone. Mello to restart things. Here's that last play. Hugo just comes out. Stayed in front, dove at the last moment. Great job by Hugo Silva. He's 3-3 on the season. 5.04 goals against average. Ball sent down, headed wide, still loose along the side, and Carvalho's going to clear it all the way out in the neutral zone. Headed back for Vanzella. Look out, Perez is trying to get to it, but Vanzella comes back up with it. Ball stolen away again in the neutral zone. Chiago works 1-on-2 down into the right corner. Waiting for some help. No one getting there. Baltimore comes back up with it. Heat are going to more of a prevent mentality, but will attack when they can. Vanzella sending up the middle. Stolen away, but it deflects off the foot of Gattaca right to Vanzella. Still loose out in the neutral zone. Heat keeping great pressure up. Donatelli getting it to the near side. Thomas double teamed along the near boards. Gattaca knocking it away. Gonzaga has it. Gonzaga under pressure. Plays it near side and out of play. It'll be a kick in for Baltimore. 6:16 to go in the fourth. Heat with a 3-goal lead. Dos Santos setting it all the way down to the right corner. Donatelli working against Basso. Shot wide left by Dantas. Kept alive on the far side by Turgu and stolen away by Basso. But played it too far ahead of himself out in the neutral zone, and Dantas comes back up with it. Ball shot on Hugo, makes another save. Ricky Carvalho trying to get it back, clearing it back out to the near side. Gets a little help from Chiago. Here's the interception though by Perez with a shot wide as Baltimore has gone to the sixth attacker. That is Pat Healy, the sixth attacker, with 5:20 to go in the fourth. Healy wearing the yellow sixth attacker jersey for the Blast as Van Zella has been pulled. Ball sent out front. Dantas down into the left corner. Take that to Santos, getting it down to Donatelli. Chantel trying to clear it away. Chantel able to knock it back up the middle, and Healy comes back for it. Pat Healy across midfield again. 5-2 in favor of the Heat. Healy outside the yellow at the right point. His pass is blocked by Perez. Heat goals in this game: Gonzaga, Miller, Ricky Ricardinho, Carvalho, Basso, and Chiago. Here's Healy. Left side, Mello. Healy, the sixth attacker, sends it down to the far post. Hoxie can't get on it, loose in the corner, and Basso knock it hard back out to the neutral zone. Healy again near the top, gets it back. Down to the right side. Dantas sends it to the middle, deflected back out by Chantel. Healy recovers it again in midfield. Here's Dos Santos to the left side, Donatelli. Deep down into the corner around the glass, headed to the side by Perez. Donatelli runs it back down, make that Hoxie back out to the neutral zone to Mello. Under 4 minutes to play, the Heat lead 5-2. Mello sending it back up the middle, and Perez intercepts but ducks it down for a 3-line violation. He was close to that yellow line and was looking for the one-timer down into the net. But the 3-line rule still applies. Even if the keeper is gone, the 6 attackers on. So the restart center point of the yellow line. Healy to the right side for Mello. Back out for Healy. Near side for Mello. Down to the right side to Santos. Shot by Hoxie. Didn't get much of it. Knocked to the side. Perez knocks it off the boards. And Healy will run it down again to the near side. Mello to Hoxie. Moves in. Plays it to the right side. A little behind Dos Santos. 3:20 to go here in the fourth. Right side. Dantas shot, score! What a blast from the right wing. Put it top shelf. And it's a 2-goal game. Time of the goal, 11 minutes and 43 seconds. Vinny Dantas from the right wing just cranks this one top shelf to make it a 5-3 goal game. I believe it was Mello who got the assist. They think they announced Hoxie, but Mello, I believe, was the one who passed it to him last. Now it's 5-3. Van Zella back in net briefly for Baltimore. The Heat lead by 2. Chantel dumping it down into the corner. High bounce. Van Zella has to slide out to get it. Still loose in front. Shot, goal! Ricky Ricardinho Carvalho, second goal of the game. Baltimore got very complacent. A little bad communication and who was going to clear that ball out and how they were going to do it. And just 12 seconds after the Dantas goal, Ricky gets his second of the game and 9th of the season, making it 6-3. Chantel dumped it down in. It was headed by Dantas. Still loose around the middle, and great job by Ricky just to come over and blast it in. Not sure if they'll call that an unassisted goal or not. But it's now the Heat crushing this Baltimore Blast team. PA announcer announced 7-3. I was like, did I miss a goal somewhere? 6-3. Shot save again by Hugo. Sent in front, clear to the side by Chantel. Dos Santos on it, out to the far side. Sixth attacker is on for Baltimore. 6-3. Harrisburg Heat, Dantas. Down the corner, Dos Santos to the middle. Nobody wanted to finish it off. Healy keeps it alive, though, down in the corner, and then gets it back to the left point. And then Healy gets knocked down by Kerstetter. Foul against the Heat before that play, as Tony Donatelli is down in the left corner. 2:35 to go in the fourth. It was a tie game at halftime. I should say going into the third. Shot high. Early in the third, Tergu scored. And after that, it's been all Heat. And giving up one by Dantas. Here's Ebanks trying to clear one down. Tergu at 2:35 of the third, 4:29. Ricky scored for the Heat. Then we move into the fourth, and Basso and Chiago scored, and then Dantas. Now Ricardinho Carvalho again. 6-3. Shot. Hugo trying to scoop it up, but clear to the side by Basso, headed wide. Still loose down along the box, and Hugo will grab on. Oh, he has played a solid performance in net tonight. Gets it out to Ebanks. Long shot, hit the right post. Baltimore brings it back again with 1:40 to go. Gonzaga comes up within the neutral zone. A lot of pressure. Plays it forward, but right to Healy, who clears it back out to Santos, and now Mello. Here's Dantas, right side. Down into the right corner. Hoxie trying to scoot one past Hugo, but he grabs on. Wants to settle things down. Calls a timeout with 1:20 to go here in the fourth. Harrisburg leading 6-3 on this Baltimore Blast. 14 years. I don't have the date. That 2000 season for the Heat. Last time they ever beat this Baltimore team. 2001, 2002. Here's Tom Miller's earlier goal. So we show you some of the earlier highlights in this one. The Heat not home until January 27th and 28th. Baltimore home next weekend. Here's Mello right at the top, and that time there's the earlier one by Tergu. A rip by Basso that was controversial at first, but clearly the replay showed that he had scored. There's a rip by Dantas. And the mess up right here that allowed the ball to get free, and Ricky Carvalho able to finish it off again. Nice crowd on hand here. A lot of fans made their way up 83 from Baltimore. You Blast fans will get to see the Heat in 2 weeks, January 14th, a Saturday night game. Get your tickets. Next week, Baltimore entertains Dallas. Here's the restart. Sent all the way down to the sixth attacker, Healy. He'll put it back down. 6-3 Harrisburg. Healy brings it up the middle, approaching the yellow to the right side. Dantas, shot gets deflected wide, loose in the middle, blocked by Chantel. Look out, the Heat have it, and a long one going, goal! Perez! Cuba Perez! An empty netter. As Healy was up near midfield, look at him, salsa. Time of the goal, 4:02. Perez, third goal of the season, makes it 7-3 in favor of the Heat. It's been a long, dry spell dry spell of beating the Baltimore Blast. Nice little Christmas present, a belated Christmas present for these Heat fans. And it's 7-3 Heat. Now keep in mind, this Baltimore team did play last night and they traveled. Harrisburg stayed fresh. You get factors like that around playoff time, and certainly a fresh Baltimore team. Things might be a little tighter. Chiago getting some help. Kicked out of play. Kick in coming up for Baltimore at the top of the arc with 32 seconds to go. Restart at the top. Healy will approach. He'll play the left side and shot up to the upper deck by Dantas. Goal kick for the Heat with 31 seconds to go. And the Heat fans getting on their feet and loving it. Hugo's going to toss it high in the air up the middle of the field. Send back the other way down the left side for Donatelli. Chantel trying to clear it away. Still loose in the middle of the box, and Chantel will get it out with the help of Chiago. Kept back in. Shot. Donna save again. Hugo, but a follow up in the middle. Right at the top of the box, and a goal by Donatelli. With 12 seconds to go, put a little cosmetic finish on this one. Time of the goal, 14:48. Dantas had the initial shot. Donatelli finished it off. You could give Dantas the assist on that. Makes it 7-4. Ball chipped high in the air up the middle. Vanzella going for it, but a foul whistled against Val Texera. He went for the head ball on the high bounce. And Vanzella took offense to it. Dos Santos is saying, hey, look, man, you're going to win the game, okay? There's only a few seconds left. And that will do it. They'll count this one down. And the Harrisburg Heat have evened the series this season at 1-1 with the Baltimore Blast. And we'll head to Baltimore in 2 weeks for a Saturday, January 14th game. Let's run down all the scoring in this one as the Harrisburg Heat have evened their record to 4-4 on the season. And the first time beating this Baltimore team in somewhere around 14 years. Here's Gonzaga. First goal of the game when he intercepted a pass from Vanzella, kind of a lazy pass, and stepped in front and sent it down into the goal at 10:22 of the first. Tom Miller on a restart at the second at 5:26. Rips one through the three-man wall, makes it a 2-0 game. Baltimore gets one back at 14:32. Mello, right in the middle from Dantas, made it 2-1. Into the third, we'll move there, and Tergu puts one in on the short side at 2:35. Then at 4:29, Ricardinho Carvalho tapping one in. The earlier one by Basso there. There's the rip on the right side by Dantas. So as Gonzaga, then Miller made it 2-0, and Mello for Baltimore made it 2-1. Tergu tied it up. Late mistake there by Baltimore, allowing Ricardinho Carvalho to get that goal. And of course Perez taking advantage of the deep one, but Donatelli got one back late. So Carvalho, 2 goals. Basso with a goal. Thiago, Perez. 7-4. Your scoring. The victory in net goes to Hugo Silva. The loss goes to William Vanzella. Baltimore Blast slipped to 6-3 on the season. Still in command of first place in the East. But the Heat gain a little ground. Now even at 4-4. Nice holiday crowd on hand here in Harrisburg. And the Harrisburg Heat will take to the road next Friday night in Syracuse. We'll be on the air at 7:30 on WMSSFM.com on the internet. And for those of you on TV watching MASL TV on YouTube, you'll be able to catch that game as well. And then we will see you in 2 weeks, Saturday, January 14th, Harrisburg at Baltimore. And that certainly seems to be like there's going to be some more fireworks coming up in that game. So don't miss it, you fans in Baltimore, and Heat fans, head on down 83 and support your Harrisburg Heat. On behalf of everyone in the Harrisburg Heat organization, the owner, the management, the players, we want to wish all of you Harrisburg Heat fans and those of you watching throughout the country and the world on MASL TV a very happy and safe New Year. We look forward to seeing you in 2017. Happy New Year from the Harrisburg Heat once again. Our final score here in Harrisburg, the Harrisburg Heat 7 and the Baltimore Blast 4. This is John Wilsbach thanking you for joining us here on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
You've been listening to the Harrisburg Heat on the Heat Soccer Network.